What's going on, you guys? Coaster here with a very late night video. Okay, because this news happens kind of late in the night. Billy Beane reacquires Kurt Suzuki from the Nationals, going back to the A's. The A's sold him last year after knowing he didn't have much upside, and Derek Norris had much more upside. And suddenly, Kurt Suzuki comes back. This is a rental trade for the most part, a guy that's got to prove himself. And the Nationals are kind of tanking. There's not much the Nationals need, so this is a cheap waiver deal. I've heard Baltimore is blocking all the waiver potential trades the A's could make. So what can you do when Baltimore blocks the trades? You got to do something. And Kurt Suzuki comes over. Low budget move for the most part. You know, we're not going to get a bat, so we're going to try to fix our pitching. Pitching has not been good the last few weeks. Somehow A.J. Griffin leaves up way too many home runs compared to last year. I know we're a fly ball pitching team, but still. Dan Straley is a streaky pitcher. He'll look good some games, and he'll look bad other games. And then Malone, as usual, a product of the Coliseum. You could argue everyone on this A's staff is a product of the Coliseum. I think Jared Parker is the only guy that's been consistent out of the pitchers as of right now. Starting pitching has been very shaky, and Kurt Suzuki knows this staff better than a lot of other catchers out there, so you can only hope that that can help him. I know there's that saying of a catcher calling a good game. Well, I hope that's the case, because our pitching has not been good. Guys like Sean Doolittle have unfortunately gone into a regression mode. Bullpen's gone through their struggles. Jerry Blevins at times has gone through his struggles. The only thing that bothers me about this trade is the hitting. Guy's a 220 hitter, and no, I'm not just stat picking. I know this because of his time with the A's. In the last couple of years, his time has kind of worn off, and he's been a rally killer, as we've been calling him. Consistent double plays. You can only hope to change the scenery of coming back to Oakland. Maybe he regains some form, because this is a contract year. He has an option for next year, which there's no way the A's are going to pick up. They're not going to pick up that option, regardless of what happens. So, if he wants to show his worth, he's got to prove it. This is a prove-it 6-week tenure, and I can only hope the pitching gets better and his defense. His defense is supposedly adequate, from what I remembered. Definitely better than Derek Norris and John Jaso. Which, of course, this is why the move is being made. John Jaso's got a concussion. Norris has a hurt toe from the last game. We only got Stephen Vogt, a left-handed hitter, on the roster. So are we going to platoon, or are we going to use Kurt Suzuki as the everyday catcher? That's the question. I would not be surprised if we're platooning still with Suzuki as the right-handed guy and the left-hander being Vogt. But we should still, I think Suzuki, you trade for a guy, you play him. So I only hope to change the scenery is better. Because Suzuki, hey, I got his promo jersey. It's nice. I could use it again for that sake. But, yeah, I'm not exactly looking forward to his bat. Hopefully he calls a better game, because defensively, catcher has been a mess. But the pitching is not to the level it needs to be. The Rangers are making their move. They have a very weak August. And this is the schedule of death, starting against Baltimore. The schedule of death of 9 games. You got the Rays, you got Baltimore, you get just a really tough end of the month, and this team's got to earn it if they want to win the division. Because right now it's not looking good. Pitching's not been good. The hitting has been cold. Even before the All-Star break, the hitting's been cold, and the only acquisition was Callaspo. So we're not going to get a hitter. We got to just outpitch the opponent. That's the typical A's philosophy. Just hopefully outpitch someone. Until otherwise, we'll see you guys later. Go A's, and let me know what you think of this trade.